evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are across the world. Welcome to episode 2. Welcome, episode 2. As you can see, we're just chilling in my comfort zone. It's a Tuesday evening here in SA. We just bringing it real to you, man. Your boy, Mr. FX Game. Guys, ladies and guys, peeps of the Forex market, you know. Um, Tonight I'm going to speak about something very important and something that a lot of people also don't know of, but it's quite an interesting topic. And these videos that I'm doing is basically to bring it to you as real as possible, in terms of opening your eyes and trying to understand the background of the forex market. A lot of the times people are just impressed by the sexy things. But there's a foundation, there's a background that happens as well before you get to that sexy things. Now, before we get to those sexy things, we have to understand that as a trader, your ultimate aim is to analyze charts and to obviously determine where this pair is going. Is it gonna go up? Is it gonna go down? What is this pair going to do? So how do you determine that? Basically analyze it. However, there is two ways of analyzing the market. And as FX Gain investors or Signal members, people see this 15,000 pips, 27,000 pips, and ultimately there is always that missing connection. I bet you people always try to figure out, oh my word, how did we catch that? We show them the screen proof of the Friday we sent out the signal, following Tuesday it hit TP. You got like 5 pages smashing TP, and it's 30,000 pips later. TP2 gets smashed. We're sitting at 35,000 pips. 35,000 pips. How is that happening? And this is when I'm talking about the two methods of analyzing a market. There's two methods. Now, the method number one is what I call old school trading. And what I mean by that is that all of us that got intrigued or was intrigued by this forex industry saw this method. Even the guys out there, I won't mention any names, but most of these folks are using that method number one. And I'm going to share the pros and the cons thereof and so forth. So method number one, we all went through it. Even me, my partner, we went through method one. And funny, old school trading is using tools that basically 1996, 97, old school trading when forex basically started. Those methods were designed by someone, and over the years they just basically spread it. There was never a question like, isn't there another method? And it's only been like in the last 5 years that this method really rose, but not a lot of people still knows about it. It's very still behind, I would say. And that basically also sets that gap between us and our investors, because we will speak about something. They will see that there's a signal being sent out, TP is being hit. They will obviously That's what I used to do when I was in a signals group. I played for a signals group, and when someone drop a signal, TP smashed, I would obviously go back and analyze and find out, like, how did this person figure this out? How did they get this amount of pops? I would go back to my charts and I would try to see what they are seeing. So that's a gap, because the way we trade is method number two, which is something very simple. Okay, so method number one is old school, right? So you got your Fibonacci up there, you got your support and your resistance, you got your yes, as people, you got these boxes. As soon as you break out of the boxes, it is through. What is there still? Trend lines. There is a lot of old school tools that is very much popular that you can find over YouTube, you can find over in a book and so forth. And the question is, how did we come across this method number two? And shout out to my partner Kyle Nero, because the time I told him about Forex, I was deeply into old school trading. My charts would be full of drawing, and my partner is someone that if you show him something, if you show him a box, people will say, okay, that's a box. But he's someone that will tip the box over and see there's another exit on this box, or is another way to open the box, where I would have been, it's only one way to open this box. And this is how my partner discovered method number two. Now, method number two is what they call indicators. Now, when we discovered this indicators, okay, when my partner discovered indicators, it is something that it's, when it comes to old school trading, you have your limit, you have your, I would say there's about, yes, give or take, say about 20 popular tools in the old school trading. 20, I would say like 20 of them, and everybody would know it. But indicators is a different ball game. Last when I checked, and I'm speaking under correction, it might be more. Last time there was about 5,000 different indicators that you get. Now, your ultimate goal is to find out the tools that will actually work for you. Now, indicators become very tricky because you get your fake indicators and you get your real-time indicators. So indicators have the advantage of basically, I don't have to draw. I don't have to draw. So, for example, tonight I'm studying USD ZAR, or I'm studying NAS, for example, and I'm doing my drawings, my support and resistance. I remember you always start with the support and resistance, you always start there. And when you're done doing your drawing, you discover now, okay, she's going up, Tomorrow night, depending on your time frame, you automatically kind of have to redraw because market has moved. So you need to draw again. So now you're sitting there analyzing and drawing for 30 minutes. And I'm not taking this away from anyone. That's the reality of it. 30 minutes, you are breaking your neck trying to figure out what is going to happen next. Where indicators automatically adjust with market movements, which is super awesome. So basically, if I, for example, had to trade a weekly time frame, and I've checked the Friday, and I did I see my indicators is live there. The following Friday, my indicators adjusted by itself, which is super awesome. But coming back to the 5,000 indicators, you really have to find those indicators that actually work. You need to backtest them. And when I'm talking about backtesting, you have to backtest them for the last 3 years. You obviously write down, okay, the amount of perps, how many trades I took, what's my winning ratio on this. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. On the next indicator. Then once you've done your backtesting and this indicator is performing fantastic in backtesting, you actually have to test it in real time, because a lot of the indicators are fake indicators, so they basically look sexy in backtesting, but when it comes to real life testing, they suck. So that's the advantages of old school trading and new school trading, indicators versus your drawings, and it becomes much more easier, definitely much more easier. We can honestly say that 30 pairs I can analyze within 15 minutes, if not less, because I will simply look at my chart, look at my indicators, and it will tell me if there's opportunity or not. That's about it. And I'll skip to the next pair and I'll see if there's opportunity or not. If there is something, I'll come back to it and I'll analyze it. But 10-15 minutes, you are out of there 30 pairs, which becomes much more easier. And another thing of drawings is that, say for example, we are 20 people. Okay, 20 people in the room. See this car behind me? Come we all, let's for argument's sake, let's all draw it. All 20 of us, we draw it. I bet you there's going to be some huge differences in those drawings from 20 people. That I can guarantee you for sure. Guarantee you for sure. So you ask yourself, who is the better drawer? Is the mentor better drawer? Or are you the better drawer? Because maybe your mentor, instead of this BMW at the back of me, your mentor drew a Polo, but you drew something totally different. So at the end of the day, there's always going to be that gap, because we are not seeing the same thing. You are seeing a BMW, the next person is seeing arguments like a Polo or Mercedes Benz after they are done with their drawing. So they always leave that gap. But when it comes to indicators, there is no gap. If we are trading with the same broker and we're trading the same time frame, and we are 20 laptops open in front of us, we are going to see the exact same thing. I repeat that. We are going to see the exact same thing. So when our candle crosses over into the buying zone and our other indicator tells us that there's enough volume to buy this pair, we all are seeing it. So there is no room for us to manipulate you. But when it comes to drawings, I'm drawing a BMW, you are drawing a Polo, and the other 20 guys are drawing a skeleton car. That's the gap. That's the gap. Because remember, we all are not artists. We are all not artists. There's going to be a gap. We're always going to try to figure out, like, yo, did I draw better that night? Did I draw better the other night? Am I drawing better? Am I getting better at this? Where indicators, it's all set up on your screen, which makes it super, super awesome. So guys, I don't take anything away from the guys that is drawing. It takes real dedication. 30 minutes analyzing and drawing on a pair, that is no jokes. That is no jokes. That is no jokes. That is some hardcore brain teaser craziness. I mean, even studying the tools of the old school, I mean, it's insane. The rules. You have to kind of wait to see if this pattern is the same. Then this is basically what it means. What was that, tops? I can't remember, but I was studying those stuff super hard, and I take nothing away from them. However, not a lot of people knows about this indicators, and it's time. It's time. We should get about our time. Time is of the essence. So if indicators is going to work better for me, then why not? And it's something that is super easy to read. So that is basically old school trading and indicators. That is purely basically the difference They both have the pros and the cons. Obviously, the cons when it comes to indicators, you actually have to find the right indicators. I mean, I think it's like every month there's someone creating a new indicator that so-called works better. And this is also, you see, what happens is that once you find those indicators that actually work good, it's something that you will have forever. You know, it's something where, for example, let's say I trade January, and for argument's sake, I quit, I take a break for 7 months. I come back and open my laptop on those indicators. It's like I never lost anything. You know, it will still be there. But on the other hand, drawings is something totally different. And this is basically the two methods. And I mean, we as FX Gain, we use indicators. There's no doubts about that. We are not drawing, um, and that's why you will see our results is always based off signal. So we send out the signal, and boom, the next post will be a TP. You know, so and obviously we as FX Gain, we have different rules on minimizing and maximizing our wins and minimizing on our losses. So obviously, with this indicators we have rules and principles that we follow, and because it's automatic, automatic those indicators are. One of our rules is trade the system and get the F out of the way. Yes, we are mentally attached to that balance, but you trade the system and get the F out of the way. Peeps, that is just a brief um, difference between the two methods out there. And whoever is going to join Forex now, they are going to discover method number one. But look deeper, and you'll find method number two. But method number two gets hard where you actually have to go find that good indicators. That good indicators that will tell you it's time to buy now, it's time to sell now, it's time to exit this trade. On this trade, there's not enough volume to buy, there's not enough volume to sell. Yes, I can agree that this is a buy. Those are the indicators that you need to find. Peeps, enjoy your day, your evening further, and stay tuned for episode 3. We're definitely going to take this up a notch. I would really like to hear people's story when it comes to Forex. I have my own story. It was my partner Kyle. He have also a couple of stories, which gets really interesting. And obviously we have made huge mistake to get where we are, sacrifices for sure, and yeah, it's just super fun, man. So to bring this information to you guys is basically we are saving you time, saving our 3 to 4 years, that we had to pump our heads and so forth. It's saving you time, but I know at the same time, we can preach, we can say this, and then maybe you don't catch it then, but when mistakes happen, you latch on and you understand. Okay, I didn't use risk management so wisely. So it's things like that we're trying to save time when it comes to your journey, um, doing the markets. You know. So yeah, guys, stay tuned and keep well, peeps. Peace.